You know, I want to do this Google Google search with you guys, because I think this is interesting. Interesting to see what results come from it, and let's see, well, what we come up with. Okay, so we're gonna go to Google, and we're searching this up because I believe um there's a lot of scams that exist, and I think it's a good thing to know what they are. I don't think anyone like really looks this up. Biggest scams, uh, let's say currently 2024. 10 most common scams in 2024. Identity, phone calls, okay, debt collection, big government scam, okay, scam text, loan credit fixer scams, fake prizes, online shopping scams, car related scams, fake check scams, of course. Okay. The reason why I want to look this up because we'll actually do a reaction on this video because I was actually watching it and I thought it was interesting. It's called Warning.
So you want to start a business cleaning houses or cleaning businesses? Well, you're in the right place because I am the cleaning business GOAT, and I'm here to tell you how to start.
I don't know why that guy started playing along. Why these life insurance? Maybe it'll pull up. There you go.
Other opportunity do you know of that's gonna pay a 21-year-old $500,000?
You, what type of mother are you? Your son's not going to college? Your son's doing that pyramid thing, huh? Hey, I drive the Lamborghini. Mama, don't have to worry about money no more because I know my purpose. Don't you let nobody steal your dreams.
This is the dream that gets shared by the likes of companies like Primerica, PHP, and World Financial Group. You've probably even heard well-known public figures such as Patrick Bet-David, Ed Milet, and even Marshall Faulk, a Super Bowl MVP and NFL Hall of Famer, promote them. I even had Marshall Faulk tactically try and recruit me.
So just to hear my thoughts on this, when it comes with scams, and what we can look forward to when it comes to that, and when I talk about life insurance, I don't have life insurance currently, but it's good that you would have it. People would say, now, is that true? Don't know. I don't know, but what it seems like is that for the life insurance, or at least what it says, that it's insuring your life, as in if you were to die, how things would go, how things are handled. It's important that you would handle that, especially if you have kids. What these are the things you would consider, right? And if that's settled and you're able to die and that's able to transfer, or something is able to happen where it benefits your family, I think that's a good thing. Now, why would someone want to get life insurance? It's because, let's actually look it up. Why people get life insurance. Spouse and children from potentially devastating financial losses that could result for some. Okay, yep, exactly what I said. So it provides financial security, helps to pay off debts, helps pay living expenses, and helps pay any medical or final expenses. All right, this sounds beneficial, right? It's like why people think life insurance is a scam, because I don't think he goes into it in this video. Is life insurance a scam? Life insurance can seem like a ripoff because of the high premiums and the unlikelihood of policyholders' death. In addition, doubts about the insurance company financial stability can raise question about whether it can afford payouts when they are due. Oh, okay. Let's continue this video.
What's up, man? It's Marshall Falk, fellow NFLer. Just want to let you know that Transamerica is where you want to be, man. This is the place you want to be if you want to do anything big.
But if well-known influencers tell us how amazing it is, and others constantly share how they have hundreds and made millions of dollars, then why is the overall sentiment in the space so negative? Even WFG itself feels the need to justify that they are a legitimate company. They have an entire page asking the question, is WFG a legitimate business? Have you ever had a friend reach out to you that you...
He's going to go into the experience where he gets introduced to basically a pyramid scam. And with each one of these, I want you to understand that there's people that make money and there's people that don't. Now, for how long you go about not making money, that is on you. If you do make money and you're successful at it, doesn't mean the other people that you're part of are also doing the same. Some people would say it's a good thing to go in there. Some people would say it's a bad thing. My thing is, it's up to you. See, because there's both positive parts and good parts about it, but what I won't urge you to do is be part of one. And this is really coming from if you aren't making money or the person below you isn't making money, then we all end up... It's all business, really. It's all business. And you can basically call it everything a pyramid scam, or pyramid scheme. I'm sorry. That's pyramid scam, I said. Pyramid scheme, I mean. But you can call anything a pyramid scheme, and it's just because if no one's making money at the bottom, the top won't make money either. There is always a value exchange that needs to happen, and you need to make that easy. And there's a good point that he makes near the end of it. He basically says, if someone can't explain what they do with simplicity, then it's probably a scam. And I think I agree with that. But again, this is your choice to say. If anyone were to give you a opportunity such as, and you're suspicious of it, consider the cause and what questions you should be asking. That's up to you.
Beginning. 6 years after an opportunity in the NFL with the Atlanta Falcons and playing rugby for Team USA.
Oh, shout out to that. I've actually wanted to play rugby.
I received a message in my LinkedIn DMs. Hey Dominic, thanks for connecting. I just thought it was another financial services company, and its name was World Financial Group. Unfortunately, afterwards, I said yes, paid the $100 and filled out the application. The last thing I had to do was sign when I got home. Before signing, I decided to go home and do what any sane person would do and go to Google, just to make sure I was making the right decision. I typed in World Financial Group, and sure enough, there it was. Is WFG a pyramid scheme? WFG complains. Is WFG a scam? I instantly said, oh no, not again.
So he's now relating the experience from his previous workplace where there was a scam, and now he's introduced to another one. And what is he going to do here? And this is where I stopped and where I was watching in the last video. And
as you can imagine, I never signed the final document, but instantly became inundated with the culture, group updates, compensation structure, financial products, and the way they operated. I even learned Ed Mylett himself started his career and made his early stages of his fortune being an agent. As I continued my research, I learned that WFG wasn't the only one. I got another DM asking me to join Primerica, so I decided to Google Primerica, and well,
one thing I would say is that how are you in the position that these folks would come to you, such as, and I think it might be because of your association, where it starts to, people will start taking interest of you because they think you're into something, right? Easy analogy to understand this: if you're around folks that do drugs, they'll think you will be more tolerant to higher drug activity than what you are already consuming it. So if they know you for smoking weed, which you should not, and that's only because it didn't come from you, so don't have it. And we won't even get into it. But if it, I don't even know. I don't even want to call. I don't trust the medical the CDC. But it's, come on. But this is for you, right? You can make whatever choices you want, but I actually do want to relate this to a topic where I was actually reading this beforehand, where there's going to be false teachers that exist, and I don't even want to divulge from what I was talking about earlier, where the people that you associate with overall, there's a they know your tolerance level, and especially if there are people that you associate the most with, they know your tolerance level, and they'll put you in situations where you're more likely to try new things that they're into. So if you go from weed to crack, I don't know, shouldn't be doing crack, guys. You're gonna go. You'll be more. I'm laughing because I would never do it. But you'll be more susceptible to do it. He's like, yeah, I'm doing it, and you trust me. Boom. And this also comes to mind a conversation where I was having with somebody, and we basically agreed that when it comes to drugs, we get pitched this stranger danger. Like, strangers are going to be the people that introduce you to drugs, but it's not. It's not. It's the people that you love. It's your friends. It's your family members. And the thing is, it's like, when you consider that, how things were messaged to you versus how they actually are, why? Why? There's someone's not being honest. It's not being truthful. And I think that's why we come to the issues where we're at today, where drug problems do exist. It's only because that we allow it, and also that we've been pitched the wrong idea to how it can be introduced to us. So, same thing where I'm talking about with bro. He allowed it, and it's been introduced, and these things will keep on coming if you keep on looking for it, right? And you keep on coming around it. And like you said, he stayed in the groups. But again, it's your choice. You say, I want to continue to get it. That's on you. But those choices are yours to make.
As you could imagine, even before I even finished what I was going to type, the very next thing that came up was scam. And then shortly after that, I got another DM, and it was from a company named PHP, which was started by Patrick Bet-David. Before I knew it, I was constantly getting messages after messages of people DMing me from these three companies. The irony, though, is once I asked, are you part of these companies? Or I shared, I'm just not interested, I never heard from them ever again. So I became curious. How does everyone else really feel about these companies? I obviously had a hunch from my preliminary research, but I wanted to know more. And here's what I found. People saw these MLM companies as worse than the real Bernie Madoff of pyramid schemes. And he stole billions of dollars from people. People felt that.
So, okay. Now, I'll talk about this slightly, because I started watching Patrick Bet-David when I was, I think, my junior year. So I'm about like 17. We're turning 18 at this point. good videos. And it gave me what I liked is that Patrick David was out, allowed me to have structure, and especially the way I talked, the way I communicated, and the way I did things were changing because of him. And I remember the first video that I really watched was his business plan video. And I thought he was talking directly to me. And because of that, I continued to follow him. And I think I've been following him. I still follow him to this day, or subscribe to his videos, because I think he's an intellectual person. And I think there's a lot of things that you can pick up from him to continue to allow yourself to drive. But with the certain models that we have, I do want to put it out there that we continue to have a clear vision on how far are we willing to invest. Because I think with certain idols that we have, we'll put so much in there. And especially what the internet has done is that we've been able to create relationships with people that don't know us. So it's not always going to come from a place of love. It's going to come from a place of transaction. Because when someone new comes up to you, there's a good chance that they want something. You walk on the road, someone comes up to you, they want something. That's what you're going to assume, and that's just human nature. Hey, how are you doing today? Oh, you want something. What do you want? Oh, I want to share with you this. Okay. Well, share it. Like, that's usually how the interaction will go. And if it continues to pique your interest, you'll dive in a little bit deeper. But you still don't know that person at that point. Now, the interesting thing is, how are we going to decide when to invest? And I think it's when it's an actual personal relationship where there's something you guys done before. You've been able to team together and benefit, both of you. It should never be one-sided. And not saying that it's always going to be easy when coming up with these situations, but if you end up being screwed, that is on you. If you end up making good decisions or having a good result from it, that is on you. That these are just risks you take with a friendship, with a relationship in business, with anything. But from the internet, we've allowed strangers to exist in our lives and make decisions for us, whether we know it or not, because the people that we idolize to a degree, they persuaded our thinking to follow them. And that's why we will end up subscribing to their content, and we should be really careful of.
Before I knew it, I was constantly getting messages after messages of people DMing me from these three companies. The irony, though, is once I asked, "Are you part of these companies?" or I shared, "I'm just not interested," I never heard from them ever again. So I became curious. How does everyone else really feel about these companies? I obviously had a hunch from my preliminary research, but I wanted to know more. And here's what I found. People saw these MLM companies as worse than the real Bernie Madoff of pyramid schemes. And he stole billions of dollars from people. People felt that robbing a...
I actually don't know who this person is. Let's read this a little bit. Bernie Madoff. Okay. His enormous fraud left behind a devastating human toll and paper losses totaling $64 billion. Wow. I like this one.
It's financial freedom. It's not a,
I found people made skits around the aggressiveness of their recruiting model.
I already got a job.
it's not a scheme.
I already got a job, bro.
It's
I'm sorry.
financial freedom. It's financial freedom.
And the comment section shared the same sentiment. Even the people that work there believe it is very cult-like. The amount of people that thought it was a scam was crazy.
I ended up being in Amway Ltd for 2.5 years, and in that time I only sponsored one person. I lost about $18,000.
Rule of thumb.
So let's talk about that. And I think I'll actually stop this video. This is the final thought. This video's not over, but it's not about the video. It's about you. I think a lot of people they'll go into something and wow, they'll pour their heart out, but there needs to be a line where you say, all right, I gotta stop. And you know what? I know who can talk about this, and I like this video a lot. I'm gonna pause this for a moment if I could. Let's see. I cannot. Okay. Let me just pull up on another screen first. I think she makes really good videos.
Just because of the time and emotion you've already invested? It's not just indecision, it's the sunk cost fallacy in action. It's a psychological pitfall that describes how ever felt trapped by past decisions? Like sticking through a boring movie because you paid for the ticket? Or hanging on to a draining relationship or a job just because of the time and emotion you've already invested? It's not just indecision, it's the sunk cost fallacy in action.
Yeah, and when we thought, I wanted her to say that just because I didn't know the word for it. But it's so dangerous. Because if you can remember the situation with my car, right? Or not my car, right? I made a bad investment, and that was just because I wanted it to last. I wanted it to continue. I didn't want to spend more money than I had to, right? But it ended up happening, and it's just like, yo, what can I do? Yo, I just have to make a better decision next time. And you know, there's a constant, I wish I could go back. I wish I can go back. Like, this isn't real. Like, stop time. Boom. Stop time. And let's go back. And let's do this over again, right? I remember the Toyota Matrix, right? I wanted that. Or at least, no. It shouldn't have happened. I knew what the issue is, but I just wanted to ignore it. And then long enough, boom, it blasted on me, right? Then the Buick, same thing. I shouldn't have done certain things, but I wanted to, what? I didn't want to stop. I wanted to last a little bit longer without worrying about it. But you see where that ends you, and it's only because I invested so much that I thought, I gotta stick to it. And this thing is a lot more with men, I believe, than it is with women. But because of what we've been able to invest, and this is even in relationships as well, we've invested so much in the relationship that we're afraid to break them or stop them or stop giving them so much energy. And then we stick through it. Is that a good thing? Maybe. Sometimes. there could be some good, right? If I decided for the Toyota Matrix, I'll fix it. I know the engine just broke, but I'll fix it. And then like keep the rest of the car, and it should be able to run good, right? Maybe not. Maybe it could turn out good later, right? Maybe not. But that's just a risk that I would have to take, right? Which is no good. Either way, it's no good for me. So I just want to give that video out because it's a scamming thing that's going on, and that we should be aware of. And we scam ourselves at times just because we think it's the right decisions, and it's not. It's not. So we talked about idols. We talked about our own personal thinking, and it's just, it happens, man. You just have to get over it. You got scammed. You got scammed, which is good because we know there's a line from the Bronx Tale where the kid, I forgot his name, but the kid's walking with the mafia boss, and the kid finds a friend, or at least someone that owed him money. He sees him, and the mafia boss calls him and says, "Hey, why are you yelling at the kid? That and like what's going on? What's your problem with that guy?" The kid says, "Yeah, he owes me $20. He hasn't paid me back," or something like that. And he ends up saying, "Oh, you got off pretty cheap." And he continues on saying, the mafia boss, he continues saying, he says, "You got off pretty cheap, right? $20 to get someone out of your life, you won't ask you for money again, that's good, right?" Same thing for these scams, right? What, $3,000? $3,000, right? Maybe $18,000 for the lady, and these are just decisions that we just have to go through, and like we can expect harder times to deal with. So if you think it's hard now, it's gonna get harder later, but like let's not think about it until we come across it. So think of the loss. It could have been worse of what you lost, right? If it's 18,000, it could have been 20,000 if you continue to go through it. It could have been 100,000 if you continue to go through it. But we just want to make sure that we're setting up breaking points where, all right, like something's not working here. How you do that, it's up to you. But I thought this was a good message for you. So, bye-bye.